Mastering how to use one hand or one foot is, though challenging in its own right, not as difficult, obviously, as mastering both feet or both hands. And one thing that's often overlooked is that when we master the first hand, it often comes sort of subconsciously. And when we can look at the better hand, which always happens, and it's sort of, always a refinement. Try to make this hand as good as this hand, this leg as good as this leg. And in some of my techniques, they're almost exactly the same, but you can tell they function just slightly differently. Obviously, in some, the discrepancy is much larger, and I can really tell the difference. And what is great about working to develop both hands, especially as an instructor, is that you're basically your one hand that can do it more proficiently, then comes to teach your other hand how to do it in that exact manner. And by doing that, the development of the second hand is very much a scholastic one, examining what your right hand has learned subconsciously so your left hand can master those same principles. So then in this way we can see that this process of self-discovery, of learning how to use one hand by the other hand's example, then teaches us as instructors how to then teach these techniques to other people. There are more reasons than this to develop both hands, obviously. I mean, if I attack with one, I can only attack with one hand in one way. I could become more predictable than if I'm attacking with both hands and moving in a way that is more difficult to follow. One example I like to use is like when I was a kid, and I'm sure I'm not alone, me and my brothers used to sword fight. And, I'd get it in my mind that I was this great warrior, and I'd try to be all precise in my cuts and angles, and my brother would just swing the sword around in a circle and poke at me. And it was so confusing. I couldn't keep up with it, and I always get tagged. And I was like, well, what's the point of, this rigid, directness when if someone just does something crazy, they're going to get through. Now, that's only true at a very low level, but that principle, true in that kind of a situation. If somebody's just swinging a sword around like this and you actually know what you're doing, it looks more like someone thrashing, in water than it really looks like someone's attacking you. But if, that principle of adding confusion to create openings is very important, and that's very essential to why you want to develop both hands and both feet. Also, if I can use both hands and both feet, I can continuously move forward in continuous attacks, and that can increase the speed of my overall attacks in that way.